Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Push with Nick and KP. We are back again, once again, to bring you a weekly recap video. This time we are working on Monday Night Raw, which took place on December 15th in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The fallout from this weekend's Saturday Night Main Event, aka the last Cena match, we now enter the post-Cena era. As if there was ever any other way, we kick off the show with a very memorable and heartbreaking tribute to Cena in his last match with his loss to Gunther. And the next thing WWE needed to do here, there was no other choice. They had to, after showing that heartbreaking loss and kind of video package, they had to then go show us the man responsible for making Cena tap out, none other than the ring general himself, Gunther, and that's exactly what they did here, capitalizing on that, which was the right decision and the only decision in my eyes. The crowd is mostly boos here, but a few diehards able to see the big picture here, see what a monumental here we have just cemented over the weekend, and are applauding the decision. This was a great moment. Before the man even could say a word, Gunther is, he doesn't have to say a word. He could literally come into the middle of the ring and smile and leave, and that would have been just as effective. But Gunther is eating this up, simply says, I did exactly what I said I was going to do, made Cena give up, made him tap out like a bitch. This was simple yet effective, and the commentators didn't say a word until the latter parts of this whole thing. Gunther comes back down the ring after appearing that he was done to basically soak in some more booze. So Gunther's way out officially this time. The cameraman follows him through Gorilla. He encounters the Alpha Academy, R-Truth, and then Adam Pearce. Lots of hate being sent Gunther's way for what he did over the weekend, and Pearce tells him he can go ahead and leave for the night, which was no issue. Gunther was on his way out anyway, or so he says. On his way to the car, he then runs into AJ Styles, who lets his looks do all the talking here, perhaps setting some seeds for the future, but Gunther gets the last laugh as he gives AJ Styles his best "You Can't See Me" on his way out. I just loved everything about this. I think that's obvious by the way I'm talking about it, but this is exactly what they needed to do. They need to hit hard on that as soon as possible to make sure they could capitalize on that heat Gunther got, and hopefully they continue to do so. But it is clear that Gunther is now a top heel in the company. With that, we quickly pivot to the first match of the evening, which has the Usos going up against the New Day with Grayson Waller, renewing a rivalry that's as old as time. You love to see it. 44 meetings as hit by the commentary team here in this rivalry, 16 of them being for tag team championship gold, which is truly a crazy statistic. The New Day here being heels and having Big G at their disposal really did control much of the pace of this match, and honestly, they're firing on all cylinders. The Usos, however, finally get a bit of momentum, and Jay gets that hot tag. It is truly crazy to me how immediately Jay looks 10 times more better, more comfortable in tag team form. But make of that what you will. As if these two teams didn't ever take any time off and one of them turned heel in the meantime. This is a fantastic match here, and they got some time. A few ad breaks here, but, such as weekly television. Say what you want about Jay Uso's singles run. Maybe it's over for good. Maybe we'll revisit it. Who knows? But one thing it did accomplish, at least in my eyes, is that it helped him turn into a bigger star. This is awesome chants ring through the arena. Big G was kind of the one helping the New Day, but he does end up kind of shifting the tides there, if you will, as he gets ejected and essentially allows the Usos to eventually gain back the momentum and get the win. So yeah, another classic between these two teams, and they could give me this matchup every week, and you would hear no complaints from me. Before we get into the next segment, we did get a quick update on LA Knight. I'm assuming, as most people kind of assumed, but they did tell us that he is out indefinitely. So make of that what you will. Division obviously taking out LA Knight. So hopefully we'll see that story come back into fruition. I think a lot of people talk negatively about kind of that angle, but I think for me, at least, I think this sets up quite nicely for a return closer to Mania season. So that's kind of where my head's at. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We are then joined by Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, who make their way down to the ring. But before they are able to make it, Asuka is sitting in the crowd there, unbeknownst to Rhea, delivers some poison mist to Rhea, and then Kairi provides an insane elbow intended for Rhea, but Io does get into the fray and jumps on top of Rhea, essentially taking that elbow. Rhea and Io struggle to get to the back, and they're helped by officials, and the Kabuki Warriors make a statement here. They are not going to be walked all over. We then get into the next match, which has Ivy Nile going up against Maxine Dupree, defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship. And this was a good match. A bit shaky at first, but still loving the progress and attitude change that we continue to see from Maxine. Obviously hinted at those kind of vignettes from Maxine training at the Heart Dungeon. I can only imagine this reign gets better as her experience grows. Probably could be said for most, but I think you can clearly see the difference just between the last time you've seen her and now. Continues to evolve, and so I'm here. I'm on for the ride. I'm excited to see what they can do with her. Maxine gets the win here with the ankle lock, and still your Women's Intercontinental Champion. Getting into the second half of Raw, we then get a promo from CM Punk, who was clearly upset that he has missed the last 2 weeks. The last time, of course, we saw Punk, he got that stomp from the masked figure. Punk goes absolutely off on the entirety of the division here, calling them a crap Sunday, which I thought was fantastic. Punk says he knows brains don't run in the Steiner family, but it's clear that you can't win without help, which, entirely accurate. The Vision, for better or worse, constantly have interference. So make of that what you will. Punk also takes extreme offense to Braun bringing up his wife, as he should. But this entire promo was top notch. Like best promo ability in the company, arguably. But the last two promos from Bronson were really great. So I think for this one, Punk realized, hey, you got some good promos. So let me have my fair share of it as well. And he goes off. This is one of Punk's better promos since he's been back. Ton of great lines here. And if the match of Punk and Breakker is as half as good as these promos, we're all in for an absolute treat. Of course, that taking place on the anniversary episode of Netflix Raw in just a few weeks. We then get into the next match, which has Raquel Rodriguez going up against Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. This is the second title match of the evening. We see a quick promo backstage before this match starts, which has Raquel saying she doesn't want the Judgment Day's backup. She wants to handle this on her own. She thinks she can take out Vaquer and win that title all by herself. This match was a bit slow burn, but it was really beginning to pick up. I think the intensity was beginning to evolve, and I thought the match was becoming a good one until, once again, and shame on me for thinking we were done with this, Nikki Bella does come back. She interferes once again to attempt to shove herself in the World Championship picture. I don't think there's an issue here in just letting Raquel. I don't think anyone thought she was going to win, but continued kind of showing her improvements as well. I think they could have done that, let them have the match, Vaquer get the win, and then have Bella attack her afterwards. But you know me, I just hate interference finishes, DQ finishes, if you will. So I think with this, I think Judgment Day needs to help. Sooner rather than later, they need to make Nikki pay for once again kind of inserting her nose where it doesn't belong. She thinks just because she is a legend that she can kind of do what she wants. And there are way too many women in the Judgment Day, and Vaquer should be out for revenge as well. So, hopefully they right this situation. But I, for one, am not looking forward to any more Nikki Bella matches with Vaquer. That is where we are going once again. We then get into the main event, which has Rey Mysterio going up against Logan Paul, of course, accompanied by Paul Heyman. This was a pretty good match with two consistent talents, and that of Rey and the Maverick, Logan Paul. Towards the end, we see Braun and Bronson making their way down to the ring, but Punk, as promised before the match, keeps them away for now. Logan then gets those brass knuckles from Heyman just in case, but that doesn't go according to plan. Ray hits a 619 and then sees the brass knuckles laying on the side of the ring there. He decides to give them a go, but gets another curb stomp from this masked man that's been helping the Vision, alluded to throughout the night a couple times. Punk then comes down to chase off this masked man as he makes it to the crowd, but he is unable to do so before he gets to the crowd. So Logan Paul gets the win here thanks to the stomp from the masked man. And then CM Punk is shouting at the masked man from the crowd, but the masked man then removes his mask, his hood. It is none other than Austin Theory. So make of that what you will. As that's all unfolding, Punk's still up on the turnbuckles yelling at now we know Austin Theory, but unbeknownst to Punk, Breaker is waiting for him, hits a vicious spear, then grabs Punk's titles and says if he ever talks about his family like that again, he will not be able to stand on those 2 feet. So Austin Theory chants ring through the crowd as the Vision once again stand tall to end Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, tons of things going on here, especially during this final, this main event here. Austin Theory, I think there were a lot of people that thought that could potentially be who that was, and it was. I'm okay with that. I actually really like that idea. I think for whatever reason, since Papa H took over, Austin Theory hasn't really got a great shake, and we never really saw the fallout of Grayson and Theory as much as they built up to it anyway. So, yeah, I think Theory being a part of the Vision is a great call. I think he could massively benefit from that and potentially maybe even be the leader of it one day. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, with that, overall Raw I thought was pretty good. Obviously, the Gunther kicking off the show, I thought that was great and absolutely must do. The Usos New Day rivalry continuing, absolutely no issues from that. Continuing the women's tag division, albeit at a much smaller pace this week, but then giving that Maxine Dupree Intercontinental title match I thought was great. Nikki Bella being back in the women's world title picture, could do without that. But then the Vision, obviously being the last kind of thing we see here. Austin Theory being that mystery hooded figure. Very curious to see how we go on from here. And that Punk Breaker match should be a great one when we get to it. Just a couple of weeks out. For a rating on this one, I think I will give this one an 8 out of 10. It was a solid show. Not the best we've had over the last month or so, but definitely continuing a lot of stories and getting some decent matches in between. So can't ask for much more than that. Well, with that, that is our Raw recap for this week's episode, and this has been The Push. We will continue to hit these weekly recap videos. We don't have any other PLEs for a while now, though, until the Royal Rumble. So got a little over a month break, but we'll obviously continue to hit these weekly shows and continuing to work on our WrestleMania project as we work on this through this downtime here. But how did you like Raw? Let us know in the comments below if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well, as that helps us out tremendously. But until next time, this has been The Push with Nick and KP. We'll see you soon. Take care.